Hey everybody, Nick Maxwell here. Today's one tank tip will be on Tic Tocs, elevator and aileron here. We'll go ahead and do them both ways as well for elevator. Disc in and sideways, disc sideways. Let's see, we'll go ahead and spool up here and click and idle up. Okay. The main key about Tic Tocs is you have to think of them as half flips. So we're going to go ahead and start with the disc in ones. So you comfortably hover here, do a half flip in, stop inverted, push back out, stop inverted, and push back out. And that's all a Tic Toc is. It's just real short half flips. So what we're going to do here now is we're going to try and compress that flip. The key is to keep the angle of the disc the same for negative and right side up. Just remember, when you're inverted, negative pitch is your friend. So don't be scared to go ahead and use that negative, because it'll only get you higher. So this time we're going to compress the elevator a little bit. Okay, that's about a 45. Okay, you see what we're doing now is we're applying elevator with pitch. Stop the model with pitch, let go of the elevator, pull back. So the initial point of the Tic Toc, the sticks start moving at the same time from that stationary point. But then you gradually come out of the elevator and stop it with the pitch. Okay, now we'll speed it up a little bit here. Once you're comfortable with that, you can start speeding up. And you'll notice here what we're doing is we're using a little bit more collective than elevator now compared to what we were earlier. And to really get that arc, now we're starting to feed in the elevator. And now we're actually using more elevator than we are collective. So we're basically just stopping the model with the collective and steering it with the elevator. Slow back down here. See, the elevator rate's changing throughout this part here because we're doing like a stationary flip, where the collective remains the same. And just remember that buffer zone too. When you're inverted, you can always climb out with negative, so that's your friend. So next we're going to go ahead and do some aileron Tic Tocs. We're only going to do these disc in today. So now same thing, half flip to inverted, half flip back, half flip to inverted, half flip back, half flip to inverted. And now we're going to go ahead and compress that. See, same process as the elevator. Stop the model with the collective. And one thing too you'll notice, you'll see here, when I'm doing them real slow, I'm actually wandering around. So it's best to practice them slow, because if you can fly it through the slow Tic Tocs, you'll be much better off as you start to get faster. Here we're going to start to add more cyclic, and a little bit less pitch. And that'll keep us in that Tic Toc. Okay. Now this is where I was talking earlier about keeping the arc the same. We're going to go ahead and do them sideways now. So we'll get into a stationary hover here. We'll do our half flip. Oop, wandering. Okay. Half flip. Half flip. Half flip. Now we're going to start using more elevator and less collective. And get it rocking back and forth. This is where that angle starts to come in. If you're climbing or falling, it's because usually the model isn't traveling the same. So say we're going to do a falling Tic Toc here. Give myself a little bit of room just in case. And we're going to come up. I'm not going to rotate all the way back. See how the model's falling through the Tic Tocs? If we get it on its back, it won't fall with the same amount of collective. Same amount of collective being used, so it's not falling. And then see, that's where we get the mistake here. If it's climbing, usually that's over-rotating, under-rotating, over-rotating, and using too much collective on the negative side. If it's climbing right side up, then you're probably just not getting, usually it'll wander off like that if you're using too much positive collective. So we'll go ahead and do the other direction as well. It's important to learn this both directions because in the wind then you'll know the corrections. So we'll go ahead and do some here. And this is where you can start to add add some of that character to this maneuver as well. A general Tic Toc, but if you learn it skids in, disc in, sideways, the more complex maneuver, like here we're rotating around doing Tic Tocs, this is still just a Tic Toc, it's just in different orientations. And if we build that in with this Tic Toc, we can start, say we want to learn nose down Tic Tocs, same method. There's our 4-point Tic Toc. So you can see how just learning a simple tail down Tic Toc can really teach you a lot, because we'll go to nose down here. The hard part with nose down is you will have to use a little bit more collective. Aerodynamically, for some reason, it seems to need that. Can't explain why, but it does. And we'll go ahead and do some aileron Tic Tocs tail in here. Same thing, keep the angle. One key point here is it's important to have a motor that's running smooth. If the motor's running smooth, like there you heard the motor, it actually got a little bit hot there in those Tic Tocs. I might have the high end a little bit lean. But if you're starting to really use a lot of pitch, you'll notice the motor start to load up. And now I have a lot of pitch in this model. But if you start to hear that noise, that's a little bit too much pitch. If the model's sitting there rotating on its axis and falling, that's a little bit too much cyclic. So hopefully that helps a little bit with some Tic Tocs there from today's One Tank Tip.